Hi, I'm Matt Stabile. I'm the producing artistic director of Theater Lab, and I also happen to be the director of Heebie Jeebies, Tales from the Midnight Campfire. I feel the same way every year. This is my favorite spot in the season every year. It is our annual families production. It comes from having the experience one time of being at a show, and I looked across the audience from me, and there was an 8-year-old with their 80-year-old grandparent, and they both had this look on their face. And I thought, well, if you can do that, like, you have captured what real theater is about. We produce a show each season to start our season that is meant to engage everybody from ages 8 to 108 and get their imaginations cooking and just sit back and enjoy what great storytelling and fun can do. Anything is possible in theater because we are borrowing the audience's imagination. And so if we put 2 chairs on the stage and say, this is a car chase, everybody in that theater is like, yep, totally a car chase. And I love that about this art form, and it gets me really excited to not only provide that opportunity for young people, obviously, like we need the theater goers and the theater artists of tomorrow, but also to remind those of us who have maybe seen a lot of theater and have become jaded in our own lives about the power of make-believe, and to be reminded of what that can actually do for us, and how just even having that experience for an hour in a theater of just investing in make-believe can find its way into our life outside the doors of the theater, and how we can suddenly become much more engaged in what is possible, even if it doesn't seem like it at the moment. The fun of this show is that it's 6 actors, and they're telling essentially 5 different stories and playing, 30 characters over the course of time. So to just, be able to just play with a group of other artists, that's what I'm definitely most excited about. There's a lot of surprise and sort of theatrical magic in this one, obviously, because we need to do some of the spooky fun stuff, right? And so I'm definitely excited to build that with the storytelling, and then also involve the tech into that storytelling, and then see it through each stage of its process. That doesn't happen with every show. Obviously, some shows, the story or the play itself, and then the tech comes in and it's more kind of, it's adding to it, but it's not maybe a core part of it. I really love shows where the story itself is being told, the actors are doing one thing, the tech is doing this other thing, and it's not until you see all of it together that you go, oh, that's what we were looking at, Gina and I go way back, over 2 decades at this point, and I've just been fortunate enough to be in several of her shows. Gina just is really adept at knowing when an audience is going to be engaged, and knowing how to keep them engaged, and that's a really masterful thing to be able to do, not only with adults but also with young people, and then to do it at the same time for both audiences. What I think I love most about Gina's writing, particularly when I'm talking about for families or younger audiences, is that she doesn't make the mistake that some playwrights do of like trying to talk down to her audience because they're young. She says, kids will meet your expectations wherever you set them, so we will set them up here and they will meet them there. And I think she has this wonderful way of making sure that she's respecting her audience, and not just giving them like, hey, we're doing a play, unless that's funny, yeah. A little sneak peek, like obviously the story takes place in the middle of the woods. Charlie has run away from summer camp and finds herself in the middle of the woods surrounded by these other campers who kind of make a dare with her of like, can you make it through our scary stories for the night, and then we'll help you get back to wherever you're going. And so I think there's like, we should be reminded of that joy of just like sitting around a fire, of storytelling, of just like, this is the oldest human art form, right? That like we tell each other stories to entertain, to educate, to do all these things, and just the magic of being told the story and sharing in that story that way. I want the audience to definitely feel that. When we get into some of the spooky tales, I want them to be a little cautious in their seat and lean forward, but maybe, oh, I can't watch it, and then go, oh gosh, it wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be, and I feel silly for being so scared, because I think that's the fun of being scared. And mostly, I want people who come to the theater to remember what it's like to imagine and to dream and to play make-believe and to invest fully in play. And if we can get that out of our audience, we've done our job.